Sige.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elmarie Tumanda, and I am one of the students of JED 101. And I am the loss reporter of Group 5, together with Nasrin Mapanolong and also Johanna Dentao. By the way, this is just a supplement report about Lesson 13, which is using research as a teaching strategy. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about research-based teaching strategies. Now, have you ever experienced when your teacher asks or give you a task to research something about a specific topic? Anyone? Na-try nyo na bang mag-research? Pina-research kayo na about a certain topic? Yes or no? Yes. So it could be any subjects, no? Specifically in science. So anyway, research-based teaching strategies or instructional strategies are strategies that have been identified by independent research. So mostly it's independent research, which is most effective at influencing student learning outcomes and students' achievements. So why do this research affects the learning outcomes of our students? How come? Any idea? Okay, Ms. Higakit, I want to know your opinion. So, why research helps students to achieve learning outcomes or our objectives for our lesson?
We all know that when we conduct research, we learn such skills such as investigation, we also do critical thinking, and we make in-depth study in a particular subject.
Yes, correct. That is very correct. Now we get to know a certain topic deeply than we already know or prior knowledge. Or even though wala kang alam sa isang topic, pero ni-research mo. So, in that case, may alam ka na. Di ba? Ano bang alam natin noon kung ano ang function ng artery? Di ba? Ano yung mga function ng mga plate tectonic, chu-chu, mga scientific names. So we have to research. So that really helps our students to achieve learning outcomes or our objective. Now, again, research-based learning approach, students actively search for and then use multiple resources, also materials and texts in order to explore important, relevant, and interesting questions and challenges. Now, and connected with that, we have our 5 stages of research-based learning. So these are the 5 stages that your students should be able to execute and able to perform the research-based learning. Number 1, identify and clarify issues, questions, challenges, and puzzles. So the learner is able to seek relevancy. So knowing or identifying the issues or questions about a certain topic. For example, as a teacher, I gave them a task na you should research about pollution. So the students will identify what are the issues of pollution. Ano ba ang cause and effect nito? Or the questions, they should construct questions when it comes to researching. Hindi lang basta-basta lang mag-ask about the pollution. And also the possible challenges that they will encounter, and so on and so forth, and other obstacles. So in that way, also, aside from identifying the issues of that topic, they also need to clarify. Saan sila magka-clarify? Kanino sila magka-clarify? Kanino sila mag-consult?
Teacher.
Sa teacher. So teacher, mag-ano din tayo, we have to assist them when it comes to appropriate ba yung issues nila, connected ba sa pinabigay mo na assignment, and so on, so forth. So we're done with identifying and clarifying the issues. Let's move on to find and process information. So dito na yung magbabasa ang mga students natin. They will find and process information through categorizing, analyzing. So for example, pollution. Ano kayang kadalasan makikita nila when mag-research sila about pollution? Climate change, probably. So there is no specific definition, or there's no specific example of pollution. There are lots of example of pollution. So example, makikita nila doon about air pollution. Water pollution. Ano pa? Land pollution. So, that kind of example, dito nila maa-assess yan sa find and process information. In these stages, i-categorize nila. Alin ba dito, saan ba napabilang yung problema natin sa ilog, sa water, sa land, sa air? Doon nila ilalagay ang mga issues and any challenges. So we're done with the find and process information. Let's move on to think critically and creatively. So they used their research information or nakuha nila na information through comparing and contrast. But aside from comparing and contrast, they can also interpret. At this stage, they will interpret what they have learned, what they have gained from that kind of information. Now, for example, pollution. So, sabi natin pollution ng task, di ba? Maaaring ilalagay nila dyan na which is more terminal. Alin ang mas malala? Yung land, water, or air pollution? Do you have any idea? Anyone? Do you have any idea? Okay, Mr. Ha. Do you have any idea which is terminal? The water, land, or air pollution?
Water pollution.
Water pollution. Why?
Kasi,
Why do you think so?
kasi when the water is contaminated or polluted na hindi lang yung mga tao yung naapektuhan but also yung environment mismo at saka yung mga other species na nakatira sa environment.
Yes, that is correct. That the answer of Mr. Happ might be probably the answers of our students. That is an example of thinking critically and creatively. Hindi lang basta-basta na copy-paste lang, no? So, that is thinking critically. Thank you, Mr. Hack. Let's move on to apply knowledge and ideas and draw conclusions. Dito na, gagawa sila ng, Gagawa sila ng conclusion or output. It could be through what? Latent tasks. Could be documentary, writing task, or poem, or oral thing. So, that is how, after this three, they have to make a conclusion. So it could be, what is the exact definition of pollution? What are the examples of pollution? So ganyan ang expected outcome ng mga bata. And lastly is communicate results. So students communicate results of their research activities in a number of possible ways. So ayan na, dito na ang persuasive essay. Another is, I think this is, ito pala yung actually this two is kind of the same process. They have to make an output in any authentic way or research activities. It could be persuasive essay, research report, a book, a solution or an intervention, action plan, and so on, so forth. So, did you guys understand what is research-based?
Yes.
What is research-based teaching strategy? Anyone? This beautiful lady right here, what do you think is research-based teaching strategy? In your own opinion?
In my own opinion, research-based strategy is using the method of making the students think critically and creatively.
Okay, very good. And when you think critically and creatively, you can do that in researching. So, yes, making our student research enable for them to achieve the learning outcomes. So the 5 stages, this is the process that your students should execute. Now let's move on to our another topic, which is the teacher's role. So as future educators, do not forget that you should provide a climate that supports students' curiosity. So how do we do that? How do we set a climate? Ano bang dapat na climate makikita sa isang classroom in order to support the students' curiosity? Okay, you? What's your name? Can you please stand up and answer, how do you set the climate as a teacher? Ano ba dapat ang makikita? Ano ba dapat scenario ng classroom natin?
Yung isang classroom, the scenario must be, there must be mga what is that, materials na, or it could be na role-playing na, it's not role-playing na, it's a role playing na kung saan pwede kang magpa-role play sa mga bata. Then there's mga, what is that, like sa tree, kung anong nangyayari, mga ganyan. Tapos mga draw, o mga picture ng mga, like, mga climate change, kung anong mga effect and cause nito.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Okay, that's also another way of setting a climate in our room, diba? Na they are exposed to different subjects or different matters. But when you say provide a climate to support students, you should, you as a teacher should make the students feel that they are not, like, they're free to ask questions. Na hindi sila naghiya na magtanong. Kasi ibang students, ayaw ko magtanong, baka pampagalitan ako or magtawanan ako ng mga classmates ko. You have to set the mindset of your students that they are free to ask questions and they should not laugh about others' people's opinion. Yan ang pag-set ng climate in order to support their curiosity and maka-question sila. Kasi pag feel nila na, parang napapahiya lang ako, that is not a healthy climate. So, that is a teacher role. Another one is enable students to ask questions. That's the same one. The classroom climate is conducive to using higher order thinking skills and problem solving skills. So, since JED 101 focuses on science subject, do not just, when you say higher order thinking skills and problem solving skills, this is making use of activities, authentic activities, no? You should not just ask of, like for example, higher order thinking skills. How would you manipulate the thinkings of our students? You should ask questions that is not answerable by yes or no. You should ask how, why the sky is blue, why choo-choo, ganyan. So that is to enhance their higher order thinking skills. So we're done with this one. Let's move on to teachers' attempts way for students to take ownership for their learning. Okay, Miss Amina, how would you say, or what is the meaning of take ownership? Take ownership. What do you mean? Take ownership of their learning. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Anong nagagawa ng students niyan?
Yung prior knowledge mo.
Prior knowledge. Another? Okay, you? What do you think? What is taking ownership?
Ipakita ng mga students yung mga natutunan nila.
Yes, they express what they have learned. But when you say taking ownership, sila mismo yung gumagawa. Like they are proud. They are proud that they managed to do this thing, do this activity, and so on and so forth. So always attempt ways to let your students take ownership. Hindi yung masyadong hands-on ka na parang na-apektuhan mo na yung creativity nila kasi ikaw na yung palaging nasusunod. Okay? Let them learn on their own. You just have to facilitate. Okay? That is the teacher's role. Now, the student's outcome. Ito na. Learning how to search for and find reliable information now. Okay, researching, hindi dapat minamalit yan. Mahirap mag-research. Diba? Because when you research, there are lots of information that you will gain. But you need a skill. And that is research. When you do research, you should identify the reliable information. Especially ngayon, madaming fake news, no? Mga misleading and ignorous information. So you have to enhance the students' skills about this. Next is develop a students classify, organize. So maybe in a thematic method, like kung ano mas malapit or like categorizing, simply as that. Next is writing skills are developed. Of course, mag-note-taking sila, magawa ng essay, and so on and so forth. Next, greater self-esteem with regard to learning. So, researching develop their self-esteem because they take ownership. Nagiging proud sila sa sarili nila dahil they own their works or outputs. Last one is retain information longer. So, do not forget that research-based teaching strategy or research-based learning, retain information longer. So, hindi siya basta-basta nakakalimutan ng mga bata because there is a process, no? take a look at the 5 stages. There's a process which makes their learning more effective and more meaningful. So that is why, that's how important or significant it is. So this is just a more details about this one. You can take a look on your handouts. I already sent it on GC. And teacher's role, mga activities na dapat mong gawin, and also the more details in student outcomes. So I think that would be all. Thank you very much.